I'm going to make a quick video on yokes. Messiah in Matthew says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I am gentle and undemanding. You will find rest for your soul, because my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And he's talking about these two words. I highlighted in the same color because that's what that means. But I want to go back to Leviticus, where God's talking about him bringing the children out of Egypt. This is Leviticus 26:13. "I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you to go upright." He's talking about the yoke of slavery, right? The yoke of serving man instead of God. Because when he brought them out, they were servants of God. God said, "Israel's my firstborn. Israel is my son, my firstborn. He let him go so that he may serve me, to serve God." So I'm going to bring up, as I was studying the word thousand, I found where it was talking about, because thousand is Aleph, meaning oxen, but where it gave the example that an older ox would be yoked to a younger one in order for the younger one to learn from the older one. The older one would teach the younger one through association. And the verbal root of this is Aleph, A-L-P-H, which means to learn, literally learn through association. And Proverbs says, "Make no friendship with a man who is given to anger or is wrathful, lest you learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul." So through association, we learn good or bad. And Messiah is saying, you will learn my ways, right? But not only that, in rabbinical literature, it says that the yoke is a metaphor of great importance. It is the symbol of service and servitude in accordance with the principle that the Jews or anyone would, because we are grafted in, right, should be free from the service of man in order to devote himself to the service of God. The yoke of man is in contrast with the yoke of the kingdom of heaven. It goes on to say that the yoke of the Torah and accepting the yoke of commandments, which is right, because when we look at the Aleph, the verbal root, Aleph, A-L-P-H, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, the symbol of the Aleph, this is the symbol of the Aleph, and when it's broken down, it is a Yod, Vav, Yod, and Yod on the bottom is man, and the Yod at the top is God, and what connects them is the Torah, which is the covenant words. Where in Deuteronomy 4 it says that the commandments are the covenant. So it's true that through the Aleph represents the yoke of heaven when a human accepts the yoke of God. So there's a connection between God and man, and that is the covenant words, which Deuteronomy says, right? Let me find it. Deuteronomy 4:13. And he declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, the 10 Commandments, and he wrote them on 2 tables of stone. And the mechanical translation is, and he told you his covenant, which he directed you to do, the 10 words, and he wrote them upon 2 slabs of stone. But all of God's word is his kingdom words. The 10 Commandments are the covenant words to the Passover lamb covenant, which Messiah renewed. But yeah, and I do want to go over this again. I like bringing this up too, because it's in the same chapter. When you're in tribulation and all these things come upon you in the latter days, the end days, you will turn to the Lord your God and be obedient to his voice. I guess that's where I want to end.